Good afternoon, everyone. So I'm going to talk to you about a personal MPN diary I made with a dear friend of mine as a tool to improve communication between patients and their healthcare providers. Sorry.
It's another meeting, but...
So, living with an MPN is a long journey with lots of visits to doctors, specialists, and other healthcare providers. This means MPN patients get overloaded with a lot of different data. For their own sake, I think the best thing to do would be to collect all this data and store it for whenever they might need it any time later. This way, patients can keep track of their progress, of the progression of their condition in the long term and stay involved in the treatment this way. I myself have tried to keep a paper file as long as possible to use this, but my memory often let me down when sitting in front of a doctor. So I was always ending up driving at home, having asked not the questions I wanted to ask in front, and with a lot of unanswered questions. So that was the moment I came up with the idea to make a digital database where I could visually watch my blood counts rise and fall in graphics, where I could easily find an overview of my past treatments, diseases, and operations I had had, where I could find in 1 second all the data of my healthcare providers through time, and the medications I took, in what year I took them, till what date I took them, and how much I took of it. And this is important to keep the conversation open when visiting our doctors, because they have too many patients to remember all the important details of all their patients. For sure, if you are scheduled for once every 2 or 3 months, they won't remember. More difficult it gets when you are visiting a new doctor or a specialist, for instance, a dental surgeon, because the healthcare information network often works poorly between different healthcare providers, sometimes even in one hospital. So patients need to keep track of their data and be their own advocate, even when they are feeling ill or exhausted. The profit of a digital personal database is easily explained when this means you can take an up-to-date print to the different healthcare providers, because you know in front they will be asking the same questions over and over again. So I can ask you all now, can you easily remember every operation you had, in what year, which healthcare provider you have been with, for which problem? Well, I can tell you myself, I needed a lot of time and thinking before my list was almost complete. So this digital personal database will give an instant access to all registered data. The patient, him or herself, decides on the level of the input as needed. So when everything is okay, not much work needs to be done. And when there's a problem, the patient can decide, him or herself, of the importance to keep track of it. The program will be presented on a USB stick to upload this on their personal computer. A calendar for appointments is integrated in this program. This way, the patient has a quick overview in time of past and future appointments, and their outcome can be completed afterwards. Now, we realize that a lot of the patients are not familiar with computers and computer programs, so it would be a possibility for them to ask assistance from family or relatives or their partner. A second important profit is when the patient would become seriously ill and wouldn't be able to manage his or her own appointments. At this moment, family or healthcare providers can have an easy access to all data. It will save them a lot of time and trouble this way. This is a slide of the poster that is hanging outside here. So what do we have for future plans. We want to let patients and healthcare providers give their experiences back to us with this program. And if it works well, we could make an app out of it. So the language would be Dutch and French, as we in Belgium have 2 languages. Future options, there would be a possibility to translate this program into other languages, and even the possibility to alter the content to other hematological diseases. There would be a possibility to upload this to our website from MPN Belgium, but then we have to ask ourselves questions about privacy and legislation. And this is the end of my presentation.